Well, welcome into our mini TAB meeting, the alternative board with Coach Darin and Sandi and Robin from Best Office Solutions. I'm Neil Gordon. How's everybody today?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well,
Thanks for having us.
Well, sure. We're going to dive in sort of a case study on how business has been going over the last 6 months since we all joined TAB. But first, we want to get to know our two guests just a little bit. Robin and Sandi, how many years have you been partners together?
22 years.
Wow.
Yes, and we worked together probably almost
3 years.
28 before that. Yeah.
And for those who do not know the product line that you offer, what are your specialties?
So we do office supplies, office furniture, remodeling, project management, just anything you need for your office.
And even that
Chairs,
too, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Coach Darin, what do you think of your prize students here?
Well, I'm very proud of them. I think I watch them in the board meetings once a month, and I really enthused that they jump in feet first, ask a lot of questions, absorb a lot of the wisdom, and I think the most important thing, I'm pretty excited, they take their commitments and the actions that they've learned from the board, and they go back and actually do something with it, and come back the following month and certainly advertise that with a lot of excitement. I think they're going to have some examples here today of talking about that, but the accountability piece, I think, really helps Sandi and Robin as well.
Why did the both of you want to join?
Well, we could see the need for accountability. Our business has grown tremendously in the past couple of years, and we need some peer-to-peer advice.
Yes, I just think that we are so busy, and we need to make time to work on the business instead of just in the business, and it's easier said than done.
Right.
But this makes us stop and reflect.
Do you remember, I think it was one of the first meetings we were at, and you asked them what their goals were, and I think they said that they needed to find really good employees. And what was your response to that?
What are you doing about it? And I saw
we looked at each other.
Surprised, I'll leave it to Sandi or Robin, but I saw a little bit of a pause and with a little bit of that's a darn good question. So I'll let Robin or Sandi take it from there.
Well, first of all, we have great employees, but we need to add to our team. And what were we doing about hiring at that moment? We weren't doing much of anything because we were so busy working in the business and growing the business. So TAB has helped us to have that accountability to add to our team.
Yeah, I think one of the complaints I hear from prospects and current board members is to what Robin said. They just are so busy and are being successful and growing the business, and frankly, the business absorbs them, and they're constantly working in the business, but really don't take the time to step back and reflect. And I'm going to say play general from time to time. Everybody's playing sergeant in the trenches and producing widgets day to day, but really sometimes you need to step back and sort of assess where you're at. And in these examples with Best Office, that they've been so successful that they got growing pains, and I think in a very good way. And we're all creatures of habit, and sometimes you want to continue to do business the way you've always done it. But when in fact your business has been so successful and grown that all of a sudden you start having some other issues. And I think that's what Robin and Sandi are finding a lot of value out of the TAB boards and then the one-on-one coaching that we do outside the TAB board.
That's right. And we should let everyone know the website is tabcsra.com. It is a peer-to-peer advisory board. We are three of about 8 different members from non-competing industries. And the part I like best, I would say, is I could just be myself. I don't have to worry that the information is going to go anywhere. And I can be maybe vulnerable. Or do you all feel the same way?
I love getting outside advice from people in other industries because we do have some of the same issues. And another thing, talking about making the time, Sandi and I have tried over the years to do a lot of things right. And we would go strategic planning sometimes twice a year. But then you do that and you're so overwhelmed with all these action items from that. And then it's hard to make them happen because you jump right into the business. This makes us stop once a month and it's a little bit more smaller bites to make things really kind of happen. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think if you could really boil it down, the board offers really two categories: that diverse experience and wisdom that Robin talks about. I think the current board that we have, there's about 170 years of local business experience from the CSRA. And so it's hard to replace all the scars and knocks and lessons learned that you may get hearing other people. And then the second category is the accountability piece that Sandi mentioned earlier. I can't say one, overweighs the other. I think many people need that diverse thought, but then there's other business owners that need that accountability. And I think all of us need it all, to be honest with you. But on any given board meeting, it may be that accountability that really was the value of the day. And the following month, the coaching session or the board session, it may be, hey, I heard something that was really unique that made me think differently.
And as we're recording this, we're in mid-February, but all of us went through a process at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. And how helpful was that to both of you?
Well, it was really helpful to set our goals for the year and realize, okay, what is our top goal, to kind of prioritize those goals as well. We have lots of different goals that we need to accomplish, but some are more important than others. And right now, ours is adding to our team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's give them a little bit of a shout out. I mean, we've modestly mentioned that they've really grown, but in the last 2 years, they have doubled their revenue. How many employees did you have 2 years ago, and how many employees do you have now?
The same.
No.
Yes.
How did you grow your business so quickly?
We worked really hard, and just 3 months ago, we did have a tremendous hire. In fact, we celebrated with a champagne moment at the board meeting. Thank you. On our recent hire, we're really excited about that. But basically the same number of employees, and everyone on the team is just really busting their tails and working hard. But we're working hard to make it where everybody can
breathe.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but when they approached me to join the TAB board many, many months ago, I think they recognized their business was driving their personal life. And I think having a successful business is fantastic, but not at the expense of making your quality of life just awful. And I'm not saying that your personal life was awful, but it certainly was, I'm going to say, upside down. You would like to think that you're controlling your business to support your personal life, not that your business is so successful it's driving your personal life in a negative way. And I think that happens to a lot of people. And one of the first things we do when we sit down with TAB is we try to talk about your personal vision and understand what you want in life. And then we segue to the company vision. I don't, frankly, get a vote on either one of them. These two share that with their peers at the board. But what I look for is their contradiction. They need to be aligned. And I think too often the company starts driving the personal versus the personal driving the company. And I think there's a lot of learning in that. And so that's something we really try to focus on right out of the gate to make sure that we understand the personal vision and the company vision.
Well, this has been a great chat, and if y'all will stick around, I think we should have a part 2. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
We do want to thank David and Chris from Augusta Podcasts. Wonderful hosts, really, to have us in several times during the month to share insight with business leaders. And if you'd like some more information and to see some case studies on some of the companies that they talk with, you can just go to AugustaPodcasts.com.